With us today, we have Yasser Ali. He is the CEO of Femtosec, and he provides solutions, everything cybersecurity side in UAE and in the region. Yasser, tell us what you do.
We hack people, we hack governments, we hack everything that is connected to the internet in a good way, of course.
When you say hacking, what kind of hacking do you call it?
We do like penetration testing and vulnerability assessment, just to be one step forward or one step ahead of the bad threat actors or the bad hackers who will come later on. You never know. To try to hack your system and take your data out of there.
So by hacking, he means white hacking, which a lot of people sometimes they don't know the difference as well.
Yeah, white hat hack, like we call like ethical hackers or white hat hackers.
All right, and what's the difference between these ones and just the normal hackers?
It's just a different hat. That's
okay.
it.
So, and when you say the hat is different, you mean you're doing it for a good cause,
yes,
correct?
Exactly.
Wonderful.
It's a personal kind of choice. You can be this way or you can be that way.
Perfect.
It's all your choice.
Wonderful. Yes, I also know that you do red teaming services, and there's also something else called blue teaming. Yes. Tell me about that. What do they mean, and what do you do with that as well?
So red teaming is like a really old kind of military term. It's about the attacking, so how the army attack the other army. And blue teaming is how the other army try to protect themselves. Yeah, defend, like the building the castle, building everything. Like in front of the castle there is a moat, and there is a small like kind of door, a lot of doors, a lot of defenses. Like we call it defense in depth. So blue teaming are the defenders. Red teaming are the attackers. Okay.
Wonderful.
So red teaming is like simulating the real hackers that want to attack your systems. So it's like we simulate all the TTPs, okay, or the like the tactics, techniques, and procedures that real threat actors and hackers take to or take advantage of to attack or compromise your systems. So it's a little bit like the difference between red teaming and penetration testing. Penetration testing is like very systematic and has like a very strict methodology. You should not go beyond this, and it always attack one thing, which is technology. But red teaming, we usually attack people, technology, and processes. So we can attack anything. Like we can like send you a phishing email trying to hack your computer, and from there we can start, attacking the entire organization. In pen test, this is not usually out of scope.
Very interesting. So something that I know from the whole cybersecurity angle of things, a lot of times threat comes in from where? There is a certain statistic that I've heard that a lot of them are from the service providers that you have as a company, which you might not be violated as in breached as a company yourself, but your service providers are the ones who are already violated, and hence people can actually penetrate from there. Can you tell us more about that?
So most of the, let's be here let's analyze this. Most of the most risk that you get are from inside, like your employees. But the good protection here, or the good point, that you can control your employees. You can make their computers secure. You can train them on cybersecurity. So this will cover or this will compensate the risk itself. But why you talk about vendors, which is a very good point here. Why vendors now are more risky than the employees? Because vendors, you cannot control them. Correct. Like you cannot tell your vendor, oh, give me this, and you start making security services for them. No, of course not.
Unless you're a huge corporation, then you might have certain
exactly.
criteria.
And at the end of the day, they will just provide you that, oh, we follow the policies. But you don't have the right even to show up to see these kind of things. They'll tell you it's our policy, you cannot see.
There's stuff that you can control, stuff you can't control. Yes. With vendors, it's not within your control.
Exactly. So vendors, it's not under your control. This is why most of the rest, like we see more than 80% of the attacks recently coming from, we call it supply chain attacks, or from the suppliers or from the vendors. Again, why? Because now, even after this kind of open kind of work mentality, the vendors usually hire people from different countries. They use the bring your own device kind of policy. So everyone, the developers, the business people, they bring their own computers. So from there, you never know what's there in their computer. Most of them like have a lot of malwares there. Whenever they use any kind of cracked system or cracked software, it means the malware is already there.
Also, when you're using it for personal use,
Of course.
and all of this, they all affect on the business, and then it goes from there. Yes, sir. How can companies and vendors protect themselves? This is basically from the part of the services that you provide as well.
Yes.
But tell us as well, because what I've realized that most people, same like if you compare this to human daily life, you have insurance for your life, as in prevention wise, it's not there, but it actually to make it better once you have something. In your case, if you take this to the companies, how can you protect yourself?
For the companies, there is no like direct question for that. Cybersecurity is like a very big field. You have to take care of a lot of things, but the very quick wins that you really need to do is training your employees on how to be cybersecurity vigilant, how they can detect any kind of phishing attempts, how to protect themselves. They really need to be aware of that, okay? Because they are the first or the weakest link in the chain, the people or the employees or your staff. So this is number one. Of course, after this, you need to implement very strict cybersecurity policies regarding the password, kind of using the password, which kind of password you should use, and all these kind of weak password problems. You have to take care of that. Proper EDR or antivirus should be implemented everywhere. You should have very good patch, like vulnerability and patch management kind of system there. You have to have a security team. Your developers should write code with security in mind. There are and the most important thing also is defense in depth or the layered security. You always should not have a single point of failure. Okay, you always like making it harder and harder for hackers. So we trying our best to like implementing the best practices or like hardening the systems or reducing the attack surface just to make it harder for hackers to get into your system. But I'm telling you, this will not prevent them, but still instead of like they will spend one day or few hours, it take them months. And of course no hackers, I mean,
Nothing is
only
unhackable.
if they are state sponsored, they will spend months, but I mean, normal hackers will not spend that time to hack into your system.
Yes, sir. This is amazing, but it sounds a little bit complicated. Let's say I have a company. How can I protect myself? We have a lot of things going on a daily basis, from operations to everything else. And security comes in very important, right?
Yeah.
It's basically key. All these things that you said are amazing. What can a company do to actually protect themselves on an easier basis?
Either they, like I usually go for, they should hire another company to take care of that, or they can have aboard their own cybersecurity team. Cybersecurity team, like you mentioned earlier, they could be like a blue team who will take care
For the
of
defense.
the security operation center, making sure all the computers are secure, the network, the servers there, the network architecture and everything related to the architecture and the endpoint and servers security. And they should also have the red team, which should take care of like do the continuous pen test assessments on the application that they are using. Onboarding even the vendors, making sure that the vendors who will come in house to provide them with any software, those vendors are secure and they really aware of the cybersecurity risks. So yeah, I mean, this should be a good start to protect your company, but again, you should always like hire consulting people, like consultants to take care of your things. It depends on how complicated is your company as well.
Yes, sir. As a cybersecurity expert and also as a company, you advise governments, you advise big corporations. Where do you see we're going next with cybersecurity coming in, here being at the Futurist Summit?
Yeah.
Where do you see the biggest leap going in? I'm going to give a small example as well, where I was speaking yesterday with a friend of mine called Steve Suarez. He's the head of Quantum as well. And he was giving an example where when we're uploading our data as well online, because storage is very cheap, and that said, there's a lot of information can be literally transcribed and then just stored.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, now you can't decrypt it, but later on, if Quantum reaches to a level where it can process it,
Yes.
they can actually decrypt it. And once that is done, this can happen tomorrow, this can happen in 5 years, 10 years. And also, the biggest other thing is, even if it's done, they might not even tell us because the biggest and most valuable thing is having our information without us knowing.
Yeah.
That in mind, how do you tell the general public to protect themselves?
From who?
That's very interesting, and I've heard this actually once from you before. Tell us why.
Because usually, like when you say I want to protect myself, like the first question is from who? From the big people, you cannot.
Tell us
You
the big
know,
people. It can be anything from
it can
governments.
be governments and you know people with authority. You cannot. If they want you, in few seconds they will get you anytime. Since they invented the internet, they always there. They always have an eye on everyone if they want him or her. But from hackers, of course, make sure that whenever you upload any data online, it's a risky kind of neighborhood. So just don't trust any online service, blindly. Don't share your information. Like try your best to minimize the kind of sharing your information, sharing your personal information, sharing your attitudes, your activities, everything, like things that people can use to profile you or to build a profile on you. So this is the thing, like honestly, and of course your personal data should be like well protected by two-factor authentication, very strong password. Don't reuse your password in every platform that you are using, of course, and don't use one pattern for all your passwords. So you just change the year or something every time. So this is like really important, especially your personal data, your iCloud, your Drive kind of things, because there where hackers or the scammers can use this kind of data to even blackmail you and ask you for a kind of ransom.
Perfect. Yes, there are two questions for you. One of them being, you said something about patterns and don't upload your patterns online. And when you said that, there's one thing that comes to mind is ChatGPT, and with AI,
Yeah, exactly.
you're just putting it and they literally know you way more than you know yourself on a certain level.
Yeah.
That's one. And the second thing is, all these data, you provide a service as well, which is dark web monitoring.
Yeah.
Tell us about dark web, what it is, and how do you do that? And I remember you saying something that you challenge pretty much anyone to find information on the dark web before anyone else. That's a bold claim. Tell us more about that.
So dark web, like in a very like simple way, we have the web and we have which is like sitting in the iceberg, and we have the deep web. Deep web is everything that other people cannot see. Your email, for example, I cannot go into your email. This
That's
is
called deep web.
Yeah, it's like anything which is protected somehow. So in this deep web, we have a very small thing called dark web. Okay, this is where everything, and it can be anything, by the way. Dark web could be a forum that you can just access using your normal browser, or it can be also like Onion website you can access using Tor browser, or it could be a Telegram channel, okay, where hackers, they try to, you know, share data, share kind of malware logs. So why it's being very trendy the past 5 years, I guess, since 2019, when we start to see a lot of malware stealers. Those malware stealers, when they installed in your computer, they take all the data in your computer. Not all the data, of course, the very sensitive data like your password, your browser history, your desktop files, screenshot of your desktop, and yeah, of course, when we talk about password, like it's like all your password from all the browsers, not only one browser, all the browsers, and of course your system information as well. Then they took this kind of data, they upload it to the dark web. Again, could be a Telegram channel where hackers that say, "Hi, I have very important like malware log from one government person. I want to sell it for, let's say, $10 or $1,000. It depends on the value how
the
valuable the data. Yeah. So there, hackers, of course, we collect these kind of things from all the sources that we see. That's good sources. And we classify them, we correlate them to give intelligence to people. So once you put in our platform, once you put your website or your domain name, we will tell you, is it mentioned on the darknet? Is there any leaks on the darknet? And we will give you depends on your position. We either
The
give you
reports.
with very limited data, or we can give you the entire malware log,
Perfect.
so you can make more analysis on that and see how this employee was hacked, how he like, is it his personal computer or is it his son computer? Is he employee or he's a supply chain, like you mentioned earlier? So this is, we take it forward out of this. Yeah.
Tell us more about threat intelligence. You provide that as a service and
Yeah.
it's within the dark web monitoring. What do you mean by threat intelligence?
Well, threat intelligence is like also very big space. Threat intelligence is simply how to um, understand your enemy, their motives, their resources, the tools that they are using. So you will be well informed, and you can inform your blue team or the defenders to be well informed, so they can be ready for any kind of proactive kind of approach for any kind of attack. Okay, so threat intelligence is providing intelligence out of the data that you will see in all the resources, either on the media, on the darknet, any resource. Okay, so converting this data to information. Okay, so data is just a data. It's like, let's say there is an IP address. Okay, this is a data. It doesn't make sense. But when we convert this IP address to information, we give you more information. What is this IP address? Maybe it's a C2 server, maybe it's malicious or not malicious. So this is information. Then we convert the information to intelligence to tell you, oh, by the way, this IP address, this is a C2 server or like a malicious kind of server that hackers from this country are using to attack those kind of other country or like specific sector or like industrial sector or people through this kind of hacking campaign.
Okay.
So yeah, adding more intelligence to the data and information. Yeah.
Interesting. Digital assets and the whole scene regarding between crypto and blockchain. You provide a lot of services over there.
Yeah.
How can companies protect themselves, and how can the general public protect themselves better?
As you mentioned, we provide the core of the blockchain is the blockchain itself, of course, as a technology or as a core. And when we talk to any blockchain, we talk through the like smart contracts. So you never, of course, go deploy any smart contract without like auditing it in a good way from one company and two company, like one consultant, another consultant. Not don't even depend
It
on
has
one
to be
consultant.
one,
You should
yeah.
have like a second kind of consultation. So yeah, this is something very important. And of course, Web3, usually you have a lot of Web2 things like web applications, mobile applications. You should take care, of course, of that, because most of the attacks, a lot of attacks actually we've seen in the Web3, it's actually coming from Web2 kind of applications. So you have to protect.
Is this from the
all-
service providers or?
from the your developers sometimes.
Okay.
Like we see a case, like let's say less than a year ago. It was in the news actually. It's a KYC company, and they just have they provide KYC. I don't know, want to say more details, but yeah, they have one employee. He was also compromised. His data was in the darknet. Hackers just use his data, enter the KYC platform. They have like hundreds of like thousands of very sensitive data there. So yeah, I mean you have to take care of everything. It's not just Web3 means Web3. No, everything. People, Web2, Web3, and everything. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yasser, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being at the Futurist Summit,
Thank you so much.
and thank you for updating us and also informing us and giving us your knowledge regarding cybersecurity, how to tackle it. And I see it's something that a lot of people actually dismiss and don't think about it as much because it's something that you don't see. But once it happens, that's the only time.
Everyone will say.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone will see and everyone's going to be very aware and they're going to remember
Yes.
you. So thank you for your time.